In this episode, we head to Bob's Lake in Ontario, Canada. Not only does this mean campfires, fishing, and cliff jumping, we search for the characters, flavors, and views that can only be experienced locally. And we also dive right into the heart of Ottawa for Canada Day. So let's check it out, eh? My name is Jeremy Siliberto. My strong lust for adventure has taken me all over the world. With a background in filmmaking and a curious nature, it is my passion to rediscover and share human connections across the world. It is in these encounters that we will find unique people and places that make each town special. I welcome you to join me on this adventure on atlasconnect.tv. Once we crossed the border, our first stop was the Thousand Island Tower. The steps that wrap around the elevator shaft are for emergency use only, so don't be intimidated. After paying the tower fee, we took the elevator up.
And you're 400 feet or 130 meters above the St. Lawrence when you climb to the outside levels. So from up here, all the water that you see is actually part of the St. Lawrence. Name of the river, St. Lawrence, is thanks to Jacques Cartier when he came into the mouth of the St. Lawrence in 1534. It was the feast day of St. Lawrence, and being a devout Catholic, he knew that, and he named the river St. Lawrence. Looking down here, there's the international waters. The narrow channel separates Canada from U.S. Equidistant from each shore is the actual border. The way it's supposed to work is as long as a boat is going forward, not touching land, not putting down an anchor, that there is no problem and you can be in the other country. There are actually 1,864 islands in the Thousand Islands. U.S. and Canada have about the same amount of land, but Canada has more smaller islands. Oh, we're looking down from the tower here at the Thousand Islands National Park. It was the first Canadian national park east of the Rocky Mountains, set up in 1904 because people were worried that the land was being sold off, and so much so that there wouldn't be any land left for public use.
We made a quick pit stop next door at the official gift shop. It was littered with maple syrup, toys, taxidermies, sunglasses, native-inspired trinkets and clothes, and pretty much any and all generic souvenir things. Our destination is a house we rented in a cove on Bob's Lake, Ontario, Canada. As we near the house, we found more and more of these custom signs pointing in all directions. We finally arrive, settle into vacation mode, and take a look around. We look around the main house, sniff around the fire pit, check out the wood shed, observe the secluded bedroom, and leg day every day at the staircase to the dock. Feeling cozy, we test out how fishy the waters are, and it's not too bad. While on the rowboat, we find a herd of cows across the shore. Oh.
Hey, cow.
As we pull into Perth, we have a big decision to make at this intersection. If we turn left, we enter the commercialized Perth, where the forgetful tourists end up spending their money on overpriced toothpaste and mosquito repellent. But if we turn right, we enter the historical and small business, more ma and pa part of Perth. To begin, we turn left. Canadian Tire I find very comparable to Walmart. It's a general chain store designed to be a one-stop shop. From hunting to Tupperware, to table lamps to yard decor, to getting your oil change, to dog food, paint, clothes, whatever. It's like Walmart. Giant Tiger store, which is essentially a discount store, and is always a good place to pick up Canadian sandals, aka candles. That credit goes to Nick. Good one, Nick. Now to me, Tim Hortons is like the Burger King of breakfast with coffee and espressos. Their free Wi-Fi in the land where our phones are just useless without it attracts us like a bug's apple. Now we check out the historical and small business part of town. The part that holds the true flavors and personalities of Perth. And we start with the info center.
Perth is celebrating 200 years this year. So we were founded in 1816, and it was founded by the War of 1812. So a lot of the soldiers that were here were disbanded soldiers from that war. And then Perth was built by the military, and then eventually became a community the way it is now. Most of the people that came over were from Scotland, so the first immigrants that came over was of Scottish descent, and mostly from Perth, which is hence the name Perth, after Perth, Scotland. Because we're only like 30 minutes from Smith Falls, we're about 45 minutes from Ottawa, an hour from Kingston, so we get people coming on day trips. So even in the winter, throughout the whole year, basically we get people traveling. Of course, during the summertime, it is our busiest season because all the cottages are back. Every place is good. We have not had any complaints, so it all depends on what you're wanting, because we have everything from Chinese food to Mexican food. We have German, we have Italian, and then we have a general. So just depending on what your flavor is. We have a couple of pubs, so all depends on what you're wanting. We have family style, so if you want a family, we have like Perth Tea Room, and then there's Peter's Restaurant. So we're 6,000 plus, but we have over 40 eating establishments.
Yeah.
If you're a cyclist, come here, because we now have the Heritage Bike Shop that has opened up, and we have the bicycle routes that will take you in and around Perth and outside of Perth. Hiking, we have hiking trails. The Rideau Trail comes in through Perth. If you're into nature, we have the Perth Wildlife Reserve just on the outskirts of Perth. If you want the waterway, we have the Perth Outfitters, and you can rent a canoe, you can rent a boat, you can rent a kayak and go up and down our Tay River. If you like, in the wintertime, cross-country skiing, Murphy's Point. They have 3 cross-country ski trails. We have campgrounds. We have Calabogie, which is not too far from here for skiing in the wintertime. So from January through to December, if you want to bring your kids, if you want to bring, if you're for an older couple, by all means. We have something for every single age group.
Yeah. The old Codes Mill is inhabited by Coutts Coffee, Ground Waves, and several other artisanal businesses.
I'm Kathy. I work here at Ground Waves, and it's situated in the old Codes Mill, which was originally an old felt factory. We've been here, the store's been here for well over 30 years, and a new owner in the last 4 years. And we specialize in kitchen gifts, anything for children, and cards, that sort of thing. So we have a lot of tourists and a lot of local people who depend on us.
Dragon Moon is a typical bohemian-inspired store, which sells a mix of local and distant designed and crafted clothes, art, jewelry, incense, sculptures, and more.
We're in our 9th year of business.
Yeah.
We sell used books, new books, discount books. We support a lot of area authors and artists, actually, and artisans. What makes the downtown here successful is the community and all the organizations make sure that they combine the historical aspect of the town, but we still move forward in the industry and advance needed for the new generations that come. For the most part, most of us are here a long time, and it's a beautiful town. There's plays and theaters and all year round.
At Coutts Coffee's new and second location, lots to eat and drink inside or outside.
Welcome to the Bookworm. The Bookworm has actually been in Perth for over 25 years, would you believe? And we've been providing Perth with secondhand books for all these years, and we're still going strong. We've moved locations a few times around town, but we've been here now for about 8-9 years. And we have a wonderful selection of everything you can think of, from chemistry books to fiction, non-fiction, and lots of great prices and great sales. And it's a wonderful town to come and visit and be in. Yeah, Perth is a military settlement town. I never saw any military action here, but soldiers and military came from between Ottawa. We're sort of about the halfway point between Ottawa and Kingston. And they came here, they settled here, and then we also had a lot of Scottish and Irish immigrants that blazed a trail through this county with like a bag of seeds and a pickaxe pretty much, and settled this whole area, and it's pretty amazing. Perth is still a vibrant little town. Still have our downtown core and all our stores and lots to eat and see and do and buy and shop.
So this is Homing Instinct, and we opened about 3 years ago, and we carry quite a wide variety of antiques and vintage items and collectibles and just secondhand things. People bring things on consignment to, that they've had in Granny's attic or Mom's attic or whatever. And I like to travel around and find unique or unusual things that people really enjoy. And it's a very social kind of place too. So a lot of people come in and just hang out and visit, and so it's been a really fun experiment, and I'm closing in 3 weeks, and then I will probably carry some stuff and sell in other people's stores too. So retail is very heavy on time, so I'd like to have a bit more time.
Hungry for dinner? We found our way to O'Reilly's Pub and Eatery. explore the neighboring town of Westport, and we're immediately drawn to the bay.
The community is about 2,000 people, lovely little boutiques and shops. Most of them are open all year round, and that's because of the support of the local community. The beautiful park, lots of heritage sites around in the area. The dock is a huge part of our tourism. In the summer it gets really busy with a bunch of tourists from everywhere. In the winter it dies down. And we generally only have people come here for accommodations for festivals in other towns. And this is one of the biggest areas with bed and breakfasts and inns. Go to Spy Rock, look out over there, go for lunch, whether it be at the Tangled Garden or the Cove or Country Kitchen or Kelly's. Take a look at the cute boutiques. There are plenty of super unique stores, and you'll only find their products here. And take a look at all the heritage sites.
In need of coffee and Wi-Fi, we head to Cottage Coffee House. Note that they don't sell breakfast items all day, so get there early and don't forget to ask for a Wi-Fi voucher.
We've been in Westport now for 7 years, and the intent was to promote and display articles made locally and Canadian. There's a lot of talent out there, and they deserve to be shown. And this was the premise, the idea that we came up with when we first moved here 7 years, and then this is what it is now. And we keep the prices reasonable, or they do. They set their own prices, and allow them to do it for basically nothing. Because you look at some of the stuff that's in the walls and the art, the amount of time it takes, the jewelry, and we get stuff as far away from Vancouver. That's why we always say local and Canadian, because we want to make sure that people realize it's not just this community. Artists from near as Kingston. One of our girls that does wildlife photography. One of her animals is going to be our next coin next year. So we're real proud of that. So it's all part of this whole scenario that we built in 7 years. A lot of American followers because they want to take something home that's local Canadian. And we get an awful lot of people in from Toronto because it's a different type of store than the others. And they're saving on some things up to $2,000 for a thing like we have a large burro behind you that sells here for $1,000. The same burro down there, same size, $3,000 in Toronto. Yeah. So it's affordable and something that they can appreciate.
We hit the local grocery store for some hot dog buns and maple syrup. Village Green is a department store with a small town feel. Oh, they carry everything from clothes, shoes, doormats, books, paintings, home decor, kid stuff, knickknacks, tchotchkes, and even more things.
This is Vanilla Beans Cafe and Creamery. It was purchased by my parents about, I want to say 4 years ago. And we serve Kawartha Dairy ice cream and cinnamon buns from St. Cinnamon and Equator's Fair Trade coffee. And yeah, that's what we do and we like it. So Westport was a town, I think, founded early 1800s by Irish settlers, mostly seniors here. And most of the economy comes from the tourists who come in the summer, and it's basically a ghost town in the winter. It's a lot of fun.
Well, the store's called the Collector's Cove, antique store and bed and breakfast. We've ran the antique store for the last 6 years. We just moved here from Brockville to Westport, and bed and breakfast is new for us, so it's I grew up in a small village in Scotland, so I'm used to small village life.
Yeah. And
here it's small village life. Everybody knows everybody. Everybody knows everything that's going on. One person knows it, the whole village knows.
Yeah.
But that's small village life. But it's really quiet here. It's nice.
For dinner, we dined in at the Tangled Garden. FYI, they are vegetarian friendly. The rock shop is filled with beautiful and rare stones, rocks, crystals, gems, fossils, and all kinds of geological enchantment. We stop in the Westport Pharmacy for safety pins and to wait out the rain, but we end up finding this insightful t-shirt.
Let's see the shirt.
Okay, it's the Grist Art Gallery, and we just opened this summer. May the 21st was our opening, and this is an old restored grist mill. And so I should take you downstairs and show you because it's absolutely gorgeous. This is really nice. I mean, that's nice too. This is open. So this is our downstairs. Isn't this cool?
Yeah.
So it's an old grist mill. See, the light. Anyway, the owner renovated all this of this old grist mill, so I think it's kind of spectacular.
Where are your artists typically from?
They're all from here, the region, Rideau Lakes. I live in Perth. This lady lives in Westport. This lady lives in Perth. They're all local artists. Rent beds here.
Okay.
And have, like, they had a poetry retreat here. So,
Yeah.
So we're trying to do all kinds of different stuff here. So
Great.
as I say, we're just getting started.
Okay, my name is Fred Fowler. I'm one of the artists here, and this here is a painting I call Clear Cut number 2, which is a clear cut on the North Shore, Lake Superior, near Terrace Bay, Ontario. I go up there every year, I go hunting, and I take a lot of photos, and this is one of the clear cuts up there that the paper mill took wood off the land for. That was, I was up at the Terry Fox monument there, and you can look across the bay and get that. I was there in the winter time, so that's on the ice. 15 of us got together and with the owner of the building and turned it into an art gallery that hopefully we can get some sales from and attract a lot of people to the area. Westport is a town that's known for art.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
And most of us belong to the Rideau Lakes Artists Association, which is quite a large organization. We're based out of Westport. What we have is the demographics is such that we have a lot of older people that are getting into the art world, and a lot of people that retired and picking up hobbies. So a lot of us are from that. We all had jobs, and we participate. And our group is very supportive, and we try to sell our stuff, and we do pretty good. I call that west of Canada. There's a bay off Nipigon Bay on Lake Superior.
Yeah.
We're about 20 miles from there, in a place called Nipigon.
Nipigon.
So the Riesling, we buy the grapes from Niagara and ship in and blend and ferment here. Our Vidal we grow here. It's more on the sweeter side if you like an aromatic fruity wine. This is our signature blend. It's called Romantique. It's a blend of our Vidal with Orange Noir Blanc and Gewürz. And then this is our Pinot Noir that we also grow here. And we don't add any artificial colors or dyes.
Yeah.
It's tough to grow this far north, anything that's not a hybrid. But our Vidal is the only hybrid, and our Chardonnay and our Pinot aren't. So a lot of people thought we were crazy for trying to grow them here, but they've done very well.
Okay, I'm Allison, and I'm one of the owners. My husband and I own this place. It's Scheuermann Vineyard and Winery, and we planted our first grapes, which we're actually standing in 2011. So this was the very first history. We planted 500 Pinot Noir and 500 Chardonnay plants, and after that in 2012 we did another 500. Really it was mostly due to money, and then we figured out somewhere in that time zone that if we wanted to be an actual winemaker, you need 5 acres in the ground to produce your own wine and manufacture it and sell it. So started a whole new adventure, because this actually started with the love of vines. We're obviously in a climate that does get very cold, lots of snow, which actually the snow is a blessing. With the coverage, it acts as a insulator. So we have to bury. In the fall, after we harvest, we need to tie down 3 of our canes that we decide to keep, and tie them to the bottom wire, and then drop that wire to the ground, and then come along with tractor equipment and cover the dirt over top. So dirt's about 18 inches above those shoots, or a foot above the shoots, and they stay nicely buried until spring. We've already finished bloom, and they're going to start veraison probably mid-August to late August, where they start to turn purple, because we are in Pinot Noir here. In a little while, very soon actually, we'll be pulling off some of the leaf foliage. So we need the sun to get through, we need the wind to get through to keep everything dry. We don't want anything to sit wet for any length of time. So that helps with the quality of the vineyard foliage. So we do a harvest party for when we do our picking. It is hand picked. We don't use machinery for that. We prefer to have everybody taught what they're looking for, checking if there's any botrytis or disease or rot, and cutting it out if there is. So also we don't want ladybugs to get in the wine, so we're having folks look on that. So we bring in, we serve a party of about 50 folks to do each grape variety, and then we pick together, we roll the netting together, and then afterwards we have a delicious dinner and last year's vintage, and it's spectacular. So appreciate all the help always.
As it gets dark and pretty much everything closes at 6 p.m.-ish, we decided to wander around and found the secret path that'll take us up to the legendary Spy Rock. We get to a lookout and find a new perspective of just how beautiful and peaceful the town is. Since our cool little rowboat wasn't fit for a full lake expedition, we decided to rent a boat from the only business on Bob's Lake that rents boats. Bob's Lake Cottages and Boat Rentals. After 2 days of dropped call conversations and email confusion, we found Greg, the cool maintenance guy. Once we figured out the license deal and the PayPal payments, we jump on our pontoon boat and head out. We managed to get about halfway back to our house, and the engine dies. We assumed the engine might be flooded, so we tried the draining procedure, waited a little bit, and it started up. Only to die again. About a half an hour later, it finally starts back up. We realize that it'll stall if we push it over half-speed throttle, so at idle speeds, we eventually get back to Bob's Rentals. Greg checked it out and gave us an upgrade. We had to gas it up, so we stopped at Twin Oaks Camp, which looks like an awesome family spot. We dropped Greg off and we're on our way back to the house to rally up the others to adventure to the lake. Now we heard rumors of wild cliff jump and rope swing spots, so our plan is to find and crush as many of them as we can find. boulder jumps and rope swings are fun, but they're not the cliffs we've seen on the YouTubes. As the sun was getting tired, we began feeling hungry. Started thinking about heading back to the house. They were hiding on us near the Crow Bay Canal area. Frog. Snake. As we were heading back to the house, an all too familiar feeling of the engine stalling came back to haunt us. After several attempts to restart the engine, we decided to flag down an unsuspecting Good Samaritan to give us a pull across the lake for an early return to Bob's Rentals. But now, we're just stranded on land. Management is not on site, phone service is spotty, and the cottage renters don't say hello back. The sun is going down, mosquitoes are coming out. Oh, and there's talk about walking 15 miles back to the house. Fortunately, on our last attempt for contact, our main man Greg picked up and rushed over to our rescue. He decided to give us a speedboat ride back to our house. So long, Greg. We appreciate you doing the best you can with what you have. We wrap up the day with some fishing and then chilling out around a fire. Get into Ottawa, which is Canada's capital city, for Canada Day 2016.
That's too much. Right, yeah, dude.
As we get closer to the hill, the crowds get thicker and louder.
Place to be in the entire country. Everybody heads down to the hill from all over the city. Doesn't matter what culture you are, where you're from, red and white, there's entertainment, there's great food, and lots of fun to be had by everybody. So come on down to the hill.
I've already gotten it. Like, I've been doing this all day.
We just wanted a sit-down restaurant to gather ourselves and figure out what we wanted to do.
It's not. Are we going to swim to the island?
We ran into the closest bar. Excuse me. As we were inside, it started to rain outside.
You have a group of 4?
I have my waterproof camera case, so that's all that mattered to me. We found the shortest line to get into the Canada Day spectacle that was apparently being broadcasted from coast to coast to coast. There were a handful of Canadian and French Canadian musical acts on stage. I just want to point out that this guy is an ice cream boss man. From my experiences, most creameries cannot chocolate dip and sprinkle. Just saying he's a champ. Good job. We found a wine truck that would only serve wine when it wasn't raining. We stuck around for the fireworks show. We weren't sure if we were in the wrong spot for the fireworks, or if it was a Canadian safety precaution to kind of hide them. I don't know. As the festivities wrapped, everyone kind of just scattered in a frantic fit. We grabbed some poutine for the road and head back to the house. And that was our adventure in Ontario, Canada. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe for future episodes. Also, who do you know that loves to travel? Share this video with them. Let me know in the comments where you think I should travel to next and why. This is Jeremy with atlasconnect.tv. Till next time, just get out there and explore. See you out there.
Get out of here with that. Get that out of here. Out, out, out. Now is not the time.
What?
No.
What's happening?
We're getting searched at the border because Jacob's lost his passport.